Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Little Rock, where love is our teaching and service is our prayer. If you are a newcomer, we're glad you have chosen to join us for worship. While you're here, please stop by the guest table and fill out a guest card and pick up some information about our church. Before the coffee hour, please join us in Thompson Hall for the coffee hour. I now invite our illuminator, Pat Hambrick, to come forward to light the chalice and lead us in our affirmation of covenant, which is printed in your order of service. Margot's all over this. Oh, it wasn't lit. Sorry about that. Light it from that one if you can.
I light the chalice with these words.
Use the microphone.
Open our eyes to see what is beautiful. Open our minds to learn what is true. Open our hearts to love one another. Please join me in the affirmation of covenant printed in your brochure.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other.
Good morning, friends. If we haven't had the privilege to meet, my name is James, and I have the privilege this morning to be doing a couple of things. One, I'm going to be stepping in for Kendi a little bit over the next few weeks to do some music leadership around here, so you might see some more of my face, but this morning I would love it if you would let me lead you through a meditation. So could we all just take a nice breath in together and let it go? That felt really good. Can we do another one? Do you know who I am, and do I know who you are? I want to invite you now into a memory, if you would come with me. Close your eyes, if that's available to you. If closing your eyes is uncomfortable, you can simply soften your gaze and just look forward. Let your body settle. Feel your feet sink into the floor a little bit. Feel your sit bones sink into your chair. You are supported and you are held. Think of a time you were with another person, face to face, and something happened between you and this other person that felt like joy. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to even be important. Just let whatever comes to the surface of your mind come. Let your mind reach out across your memories to seek joy. When you find it, notice where you are and picture it in your mind's eye. What do you see? What is the light in that place? Who are the faces? What does the space look like around you? What do you hear? Voices, maybe? Music? Laughter? The particular sounds of that place and that memory, I want you to hear them. What do you smell? Maybe smells from a kitchen cooking a warm meal. Maybe you smell the outside air, fresh after a rain. Maybe you smell coffee that you shared in this joyful memory that you're remembering. Is there a taste to this memory? Something shared at a table, a drink passed between friends, the particular flavor of that joyful moment. What does your body feel? The temperature of the air, whether you were sitting or standing, whether someone was close to you. And what does joy feel like for you in this memory? What does it feel like in your body? Let that feeling crest over you, that feeling of joy and human connection, and stay there a moment. That person carried something into your life that no one else could have carried. And you carried something into theirs. This is how the world turns. Not through grand gestures alone, but through the small, ordinary miracle of one human being present with another. Breathe. Breathe in that joy and let it fill up your whole body. Like a warm feeling, a warm blanket, something comforting. And carry that memory gently back into this room with you. We live in a world that is designed at an algorithmic level to feed on our anger. And some of that anger is righteous. Some of it is necessary. Some of it is the only honest response to what is happening in our world right now. We don't put that down. But we also know this: a system that profits from our outrage does not want us sitting quietly with a memory of joy. As you open your eyes, if you are comfortable, look around and say hello, just briefly, just a little wave. Because every person here in this room just experienced joy like you did. Not exactly the same way you did, but we are all capable of having that same kind of memory. Every one of us has been held even briefly by another human life. This is the ground we share. And that's how we turn the world around, friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for just being who you are. My goal today was just James gave us the message that I would want to give, but I'm going to share some things with you about a retreat I went on a couple of weeks ago. It was a Buddhist retreat, and so this week in preparing for this service and having this service and have little things not working right, it's sort of a test for me, I think, to work on what I've learned. The name of the retreat was Releasing the Knots of the Mind, Instructions on Resting in Stillness and Awareness. The leader was Anam Thubin, who's a Buddhist monk. He's from Tibet, and he is just light. When you meet him, you feel the light within him. He described the world as a reflection of human consciousness, which resides in the world and in our consciousness, which we can be aware or unaware. All spiritual practices are evolved in order to change one's consciousness. The sacred is a state of being. Think of John Lennon and imagine all the people living life in peace. And meditation on that makes a difference. Enlightenment can be really simple. No thoughts, no story. One falls into a Buddha mind, a sacred place of compassion and love for humanity, if even for a moment. America has had some heavy karma. To be freed, we must not harbor hate, but rather feel compassion for all, and compassion for ourselves. I'm going to read something from Anam's book, Choosing Compassion. The Buddhist and Hindu traditions have a deep understanding of karma. They use its theories to understand the complex, dynamic nature of life. One answer for what is happening in the world right now is because it's our karma. To say our karma means that it's happening because of complex interconnection of causes and conditions. In Buddhist thinking, everything comes into being through causes and conditions. Nothing is purely random or accidental. Everything we are witnessing right now, both at a personal level and the larger society, is the consequence of a myriad of causes and conditions. The fruit of the choices is what we have seen, the people have made over time, with choices people are making right now, and the choices of our parents and grandparents and ancestors. It also includes the actions they took in the state of consciousness when they lived. Karma teaches us that every action that we take has a powerful impact, and it reminds us that the state of consciousness in which we live has a long-term impact on our life, as well as the lives of the people around us. Buddhism teaches that our actions have karmic results. That is why it's very important to make sure that we are choosing the state of consciousness we want to live in. We can choose to reside in an unenlightened state of consciousness. We can choose to reside in a more enlightened state. In a more enlightened state, there is more love, more compassion, and a more of a sense that we're all in this together. We are all in this together. If you think about climate change and how it's happened, we're all receiving the fruit of our humanity's inability to understand and care for our earth. And that starts with a consciousness. Our actions have karmic results, and the state of our consciousness has karmic results as well. We can choose to live in awareness. Right now we're seeing human unawareness celebrated, like it's proud to be ignorant. I don't think that most of us want to be that way. We can't change those who are, but we can manage what we have control over. If we want to attain loving kindness, compassion, and forgiveness, how do we attain these feelings? One way is through the meditation, like James led us through, and allowing ourselves to relax into our bodies and listen for the voice with no sound, the voice that is within us. Imagine your mind has a mind of its own, like two birds. There's a bird on one branch that's eating, and there's a bird up here that's watching. And so this is our unawareness, and this is our awareness of what we're doing. The bird that is watching sees the actions of the other. awareness, or unawareness. This is the practice, to sit in silence and observe the workings of our consciousness without judgment. Observe your fear, anger, jealousy, all the emotions, also love and compassion. But if you feel that anger, acknowledge it. It's there. As James said, there's a reason that we feel the anger we feel, but we can choose how we respond to that. Remember the song, The Sounds of Silence? Hello, darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again. The silence is like a doorway to enlightenment. So we have to have gratitude for our difficulties, for our mistakes. This is how we learn. If we didn't make mistakes, then we wouldn't grow. It's how the diamond is cut under the earth. We are human and we have human feelings, and we need to acknowledge them. But we can choose to let go of the negative, painful experience by stepping back like the bird watching, acknowledging what you see, and then letting it go. You have to forgive yourself, because a lot of times we're thinking and doing things we don't want to. And humans like to hold on to anger and division. We have to make a choice to release these feelings and allow ourselves to open our hearts to compassion. We do have the power to change our minds. Anam talked about the experience of a silent retreat. That's where you may go for a few days or even a week, where you meditate and you spend this time with lots of people, but you don't converse. It's total silence. And many people are afraid when they go. It's like, oh, can I not talk, or what's it going to be like? It's very different from the life we live. After the end of the silent meditation retreat, he said people will come and say, I'm afraid to go back into the world. I'm afraid I'm going to forget everything I learned. And you'll forget some, but you'll remember some. You have to keep reminding yourself and reminding yourself. We have to make a paradigm shift to who we are. Anxiety is part of us. We have to accept this reality and treat all experiences as a friend. Spend more time in silence and witnessing the silence, and stop the war inside our heads. One of the images I've always liked from Buddhist teaching is the monkey mind. If you think of your mind, most of the time there's like a monkey jumping around, and right, if you just stop and are silent, you have to take time to breathe and allow the silence. My intention here was to encourage each of us in our quest to have compassion ourselves and humanity in order to turn the world around. And one simple practice is to wake up with intention, to practice awareness all day. Today, I'm going to be aware. I think I may have failed in that, because I was very nervous about this, but here we are, we're human. At the end of the day, you stop and you reflect on how the day went and things that happened, and how well or not you stayed in awareness. All spiritual practices have evolved to change one's consciousness. Anam suggests the image of a butter lamp on an altar of your mind, and that's a Buddhist thing. They have the butter lamps for remembrance. And it's like our chalice. It's like this little light of mine. I'm going to make it shine. Just make sure that it keeps shining, because we are the light of the world. Anand says the most important sacred narrative is our nature is already perfect. Buddhists call this the Buddha mind or the bodhicitta. This image is visible in most of our sacred practices. Our worship services are created to hold this light, this truth together for a moment, and then go out into the world in peace to be the light that helps others see. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? May it be so.
I invite you to remain standing as I invite Pat back up to extinguish our chalice as we join together in saying our closing words. Go out into the east, have courage, hold on to what is good, return to no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. Thank you.
And don't forget to keep your butter light shining on the altar of your heart.
Wash the mountain fire, make the sunlight turn